Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today is the first in a series of dailies. I've said that for two other videos because they were for fire signs and earth signs, and now we're going to do air signs. And I'm going to be releasing a daily outlook for all the air signs every day. And today is for February 1st, so let's get right into it. This is going to be for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius in that order. We're going to pull out your three love oracles for the day just to see what kind of love energy is around you today, emotional energy. I love these oracle cards because they're really sort of not necessarily for someone who is in a relationship. A lot of these messages can also apply to just self-healing and your relationship with yourself as well. And so this is why I really love using these. So let's just see Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's going on February 1st? Show me. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, show me. All right, February 1st for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. All right, Gemini, Mirror, Libra, you have the dragonfly, and Aquarius, you have the sword and the rose. So the mirror really talking about being reflective today, right? Looking at yourself, looking at your relationship with others. The dragonfly is really about being lighthearted, right? Adapting and changing, you know, having a very magical day, right? Seeing the beauty in a lot of things. And the sword and the rose is a really interesting oracle card because it really talks about a truth coming in, like a very definite truth about something. And also sometimes it can also be sort of a forging of a union, a very strong union coming together. You know what I mean? The sword and the rose can also even represent sort of family bonds, right? When the family sort of comes together under one umbrella or as one force against another, perhaps energy that's coming in or what have you. It's a very interesting oracle card. So let's just see. Show me February 1st for my lovely Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius for February 1st. Show me. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. All right, Gemini, you have 8 of Cups and 8 of Wands. Libra, you have 2 of Swords and a Queen of Swords. And Aquarius, excuse me, you have 9 of Cups and Ace of Swords. At the bottom, another Ace, Ace of Wands. So a real day of beginnings, right, and understanding. Certainly passion. Ace of Wands talks about a new passion coming into your life. All right, Gemini, today is a day of being really reflective, right? And really taking a good hard look at your relationships, right? Because guess what? You have an 8 of Cups and 8 of Wands. Some of you have had enough of all of the mixed messages coming in. Some of you have had, you know, you're looking at your relationships and you're realizing, you know what? I don't need this. If you are right now feeling sort of down about yourself, you're feeling like your energy has been drawn, you know, you're fatigued, you're emotionally fatigued, and today you're having this introspective day, Gemini, then this is a day where you're realizing certainly that it's time to put in boundaries. It's time to pull away from relationships that don't serve you. Some of you may indeed just turn away, turn your back and walk away from certain friendships or connections that you may have, or just certain ways of behaving where you're giving too much energy. It doesn't necessarily mean the relationship has to be absolutely over, but certainly you're putting boundaries in place. I mean, 8 is the number for strength and boundaries. In the major arcana, it is the card for strength. So with strength, we find discipline and we find certainly borders, boundaries that we enforce. 8 of Wands is really talking about a lot of sort of a lot of information coming in, a lot of messages, a lot of people wanting your energy, wanting your 2 cents, or wanting, you know, 8 of Wands talks about a lot of people really overstepping their bounds with you and just really coming into you with all kinds of energy. And it can be a very chaotic time. And I think that for some of you, you're just feeling, you know, you're looking at your life and you're wondering, like, why am I always feeling so chaotic? Why am I always feeling so hassled? And today is the day where you're really having a lot of understandings. With this Ace of Wands, certainly you're feeling very passionate about it. It could be where before you may have been hesitant to sort of cut those bonds or cut those ties, or even be an example could be that, in the past you may have been hesitant to tell somebody, look, I don't want to talk about this with you, or I don't feel comfortable you talking about your personal business with me. Like, you know what I mean? Because maybe it's someone that does this all the time and it's draining for you. You realize, you just have this chaotic feeling all the time because you're constantly caught up in their business. Now you feel passionate about it. Today, February 1st, is a day, Gemini, where you're ready because you've done some real sort of reflective introspection on yourself, and you're realizing that you just can't keep this up because the energy is just so damaging, right? Draining. All right, Libra, the dragonfly. Today you're having a really lighthearted day, a really sort of it's interesting. You're having a very sort of magical day in a lot of ways, right? The dragonfly can also imply inspiration coming in to a certain degree. It can imply changes coming in, but in a really good way. You do have an interesting day of Two of Swords and Queen of Swords. So Two of Swords is a feeling of really like not being able to decide what to do. And it's interesting because the dragonfly also talks about illusion, and it is also the totem for the mind. And sometimes when you're having a really kind of like everything is happening all at once, it's like you just don't know what to do. And that feels like today. Today feels like, mentally you're in two places, right? You don't know what to do. There's a lot happening all around you, and there's choices, and you feel right now like you can't make a choice between one or the other. Although in this deck, the dragonfly is sort of described as being very lighthearted, and it is very lighthearted. It can also indicate, in general, like, when your mind is too far up into the like clouds, when you're not grounded enough, right? When you're being almost too fanciful and lighthearted and fantastical, and then you get to a point where you can't make any decisions. You know what I mean? Everything seems like a good idea. Queen of Swords talks about being really honest with yourself, and so don't be forced. It could be that you might be the energy that's around you today. Like you might be with friends and they're kind of trying to get you to do things or to hang out with them or to take, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, the energy just seems like it may be getting whipped around you a little bit. Because sometimes Two of Swords can be a feeling of being forced to make a decision that you're not really sure you want to make just yet. Right? So this could just be hanging out with friends or just kind of some event as well that happens today. And the Queen of Swords comes in to remind you that whenever you feel like this kind of situation, maybe too much air energy is around you, too many friends wanting you to behave a certain way or hang out with them a certain way or do certain things, give them energy, you're finding yourself not able to make a decision. Rely on who you are. Go back to who you are. Don't try to play sort of, don't try to be everybody's friend or everybody's confidant, everybody's party girl or party boy, everybody's cheerleader, right? You have to stay true to who you are and be honest about that so that you aren't pulled in multiple different directions. All right, my lovely Aquarius, the Sword and the Rose. Well, you get the Ace of Swords coming out for you with the Sword and the Rose. So clarity and truth absolutely come in today for you on some issue. And Nine of Cups really talks about being very happy with your relationships, right? There is an honesty there. There is a connection there with a relationship, I think, that really goes to the next level of sort of bonding and happiness. There is an honesty there. It could be that you're just waking up to the fact that there is a particular relationship in your life that is so much stronger than you ever imagined, right? It could be that it was tested recently and you're finding out that it was standing the test of time. The Sword and Rose represents power and force and solidarity and honor. And so whatever this truth is that comes in, it's very good because you also have a Nine of Cups there. So Aquarius, it's a real sort of happiness about this bond, a real sort of affirmation that the bond is where it should be and that it is tight. And the Ace of Swords is a real sort of vindication of that. I'm going to leave it at that. This one is really, really straightforward. It's a strong day for Aquarius, and they're either family connections or their friendship and or love connections. And there's a truth, certainly, that comes in for you. All right, guys, this is your daily for the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did. Leave me a like, subscribe, and share. But for right now, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.